Beside my bed, a pool of light. Is it hoarfrost on the ground? I lift my eyes and see the moon. I bend my head and think of home. Thoughts in the Silent Night by Li Bai. This poem originally caught popularity during the Tang Dynasty. This was because it was relatable for many traveling merchants who missed home. The Tang Dynasty is considered a golden age of Chinese arts, and from it we see things like Tang poetry emerge, which is still studied today. But right now, I want to talk about something that paved the way of success for many during the Tang Dynasty. I'm Bear, and welcome to the Scarlet Cheese Guild, where we'll talk about Imperial Exams in the Tang Dynasty. So, the Tang Dynasty was founded by Li Yuan. He was a military general who became an emperor after subduing a group. The Tang Dynasty ruled over the years 618 CE to 907 CE. It reigned with 3 centuries of peace and has even been named a Golden Age of China. From it, we see many things emerge, such as wood printing, gunpowder, air conditioning, and even gas stoves. But one thing I'd like to talk about is something that was made popular by the Tang Dynasty. A little note, it didn't start in the Tang Dynasty, but it was made popular. And this is called Imperial Exams, and it's one of the things that we'll be talking about today. So if you don't know what an Imperial Exam is, it's essentially just a civil service exam created and designed to choose scholar officials. Although the Imperial Exams got really popular during the Mid-Dynasty, it's important to note that they weren't created then. We see Imperial Exams actually go back 2,000 years. And we see the known start of Imperial Exams start in the Han and Sui dynasty. However, there's a stark contrast on how the Han and Sui exams were. We see that people who took the exam during the Han Dynasty were usually students recommended by prefects. Recommendations were based on skill as well as familial position. These students would then be reviewed and allowed to take the test. But taking the test was no easy feat. You see, the test consisted of memorizing 9,000 characters as well as Chinese classics, and more. The Sui exam had a different approach to Imperial Exams. Prefects were now required to send three students to the test. They placed an emphasis on relying on talent and hard work rather than connections. This set the stage for the Tang Dynasty to make new reforms to the exam. But before we talk about those reforms, let's first see what Jack has to say, or his Jack badge or whatever.
Yeah. What's up, dude? Welcome back to the Mischief Corner. I'm still Jack. We're gonna be talking about one of China's greatest inventions, toilet paper. Now, you like toilet paper? Cool. You might like toilet paper in houses. That's not cool. Don't do that to your fellow humans. Anyways, it's amazing and hygienic. Remember that time when we were talking about Rome and there was a sponge on a stick communally? This is far better than that. So, I remember the day it was invented like it was yesterday. Yesterday, a few centuries ago, whatever. We'll say that toilet paper was created sometime during the Han Dynasty. However, ancient toilet paper was unlike the soft paper we have today. It was made of silk and tree bark. It was also not accessible to the common. Well, unlike me, of course. Now, the founding of toilet paper didn't stop here, because years before the alleged date, we can see scholars talk about the use of toilet paper. One scholar wrote, "Paper on which there are quotations or commentaries from the 5 classics or the names of sages I dare not use for toilet purposes." Ones that were not wealthy enough to access the toilet paper would use things like grass, moss, and seashells. Seashells. That's Jack.
Anyway, back to what I was saying, the Tang Dynasty really started to change things. During the Mid-Tang Dynasty, we see that rulers started to realize the only way to prevent families from building powers within was to make the Imperial Exams public. This now meant that anyone could take it. But things really started to expand when Empress Wu came into power. Wu Zetian was originally a concubine of the emperor. She happened to be the emperor's favorite concubine and was able to climb her way up in terms of power. When she got rid of the empress, she became empress dowager and came into power temporarily. Even though she was in power for a short time, she was able to expand the test-taking pod. And she allowed for test takers to now have an interview as well as recite literature before they took the test. It wasn't until she came into power in 690 where she started to make big changes. After coming into power, Wu Zetian realized she had no allies. This led her to promote the Imperial Exam heavily towards commoners. We see she even went to places such as Southeast China that were considered unprestigious. This not only opened the pool for more candidates, but it allowed her to create an elite team of bureaucrats that were completely loyal to her. Wu Zetian's changes allowed for China to give a chance to talented individuals. We can even see this being happen modern day with a lot of people in China putting a basis on discipline and an emphasis on education. Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching our video. If you liked more videos like these, please make sure to check out our channel and make sure to like, subscribe, and share.